Okay. So our class is recorded now. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to today's class. So the exercise we are going to do today, we are going to work on. Let's assume you have. Let's assume you are an accountant, and then you are a tax consultant, and you need to access source documents. You want to create account from source documents. Okay, there are a lot of times that you may have series of transactions, and also you want to like add those things together. For instance, let's say you have sales of, let's say you are into different department, so you want to say sales of let's say telephone, sales of generator, sales of different sales, right? You could check your bank statement. You can see that there are a lot of transactions on your bank statement, and then we need to like add, add them up together and have each um sum, bulk sum for each of them. Okay, so probably you want to, at the end of the day, you want to see at a glance what is the total sales that we made in January, what is the total sales that we made in February, all those kind of things. So anytime you are trying to like sort, you're trying to like get figures that is attached to certain list of items. You can have 1 million items, you can have as many items as possible. I'm going to show us how to create formulas or functions that we cater for all those things. So most times we use most of these formulas and these functions, we use them whenever we are trying to create our trial balance. So when you have your bank statement, you want to, from your bank statement, you want to create your trial balance. Okay, I will quickly show us how to achieve that in this lecture. So without wasting time, let's quickly start the lecture proper. So today is day 3, and we still have like 27 days to go. So the first thing I told us yesterday, I told us how to close the workbook by pressing Control plus F4. So I open a new workbook. I'm just going to press Control plus F4, and I've closed the workbook. That's that. The next thing I also tell you is that if you want to save a workbook, you want to save as. So you want to save the file. You are not just saving the document. You want to save the file and save the name. I also told us yesterday that let's assume we have a new workbook. I press Ctrl N to open a new workbook. I want to save this workbook. I don't need to go to the file. Okay, I don't need to now start looking for where my save as is. No, instead of me to come to this file and click on save as, simply press what do I say you should press? Let's check the file. Let's press here. We have to press F12. So when you press F12, you are not pressing Control, just F12. So let's go back to it again. Control N. Then we now press F12 on the keyboard. So it's going to open the Save As dialog box. Okay. Then you can save the name, click on where you want to save it, whether it's on your desktop or whatever you want to save it, and that is fine. So let's now, so we want to close this workbook. You press Control F4. We've closed the workbook. So it's all those things we are selecting, we are learning, we want to be using them. Then the next thing I also told us about is to fill a selected cell, okay, in whatever workbook you are, to fill a selected cell, okay. Whenever you type in a selected cell, just press, if you want to remain on that cell. For instance, when I was doing this thing, I wanted to color it as green, okay. I wanted to make it bold, so you can do that. So let's say I want to type. Let me go back to an empty workbook. So I want to type here. I want to say, so I love PDF was what I used yesterday. I love PDF. Okay. So once you do this, if you press your enter, you're going to leave that cell. Okay. What cell are we? We are on cell A2. Just go to your name box. So that is your name box. You are on cell A2. So once you are on your cell A2, you press I love PDF, and then you want to remain in that place. So this is what you do. Let me delete it. So you now say I love PDF. So this is for you to just click on enter, hold your control key and press enter. So it stays put on that cell. Why do I want to stay put on this cell? Probably I want to color this cell. So I'll just quickly press Control 1 to access my home tab dialog box. Once I press Control 1, I can check for whatever I want to do. Maybe I want to adjust the alignment. I want to look at the front. I want to look at the border. I want to put a border here. I can just quickly put a border. Okay. So this is like a revision of what we did yesterday. I can quickly put a border. And if I click away, you see that there's a border over here. If I want to also color it, I can simply go to my home tab and click on the front. So let's try. Let's go to our control one again. I told you that this control one is a shortcut. When you click on control one, you can also access front here. So you can access front here. You can decide to use your font to color and all those things. So that's just here. So that is that. Okay, so that is that. I've shown us what we have in this our this thing. So let me close all these. I'll simply press Ctrl F4 to close. I'll press, do I want to close this one? Let me leave this one open so that we can also use it for any other thing. Or let me close it, Ctrl F4. I'm closing the workbook. Now, because I have something saved here, I have something on this workbook, it's going to ask me, do I want to delete? Do I want to save the changes or I don't want to save it? I'll say don't save and it's gone. So we are back here. The next thing we want to work on is editing techniques. So how do we edit? It's good for you to know how to edit. And when you know how to edit, it's going to go a long way to assist you when you are when you are working as an accountant or whatever you are working as. Okay, so editing techniques, I think, can this be movement techniques? I'm coming. Select all the areas you intend to move to. So this is moving techniques, pasting techniques. So this one is as well as okay. So editing techniques now. So let's do something. Let's get to I know this our class work. Okay, let's come on under here. So under here, I want to like make this thing white. Okay, so I come back to my home page and I come to my front. I click on these and I come and look for color white. Okay, so I want to have this plain board. Okay, so remember I also told us yesterday that if you press your Alt on your keyboard, you are going to activate all these the tabs. So I'm going to activate the tabs. So if I want to access home, instead of me to press Control 1, as I normally press Control 1, I can simply press my Alt key. Once I press my Alt key, it activates the home tab. So it activates the tabs. Okay. Once I activate the tabs, I can quickly say, okay, I want to press H because H is representing home. I press H. When I press H, then what else do I want to do? I want to press another H because I want to color. I press another H and then it's bringing out the colors. Then there are other letters like that. So you can continue to go and learn different shortcuts that you want to create. And when you're done with this, you can always press your escape key and then that thing will disappear. So that is that. So what do you want to do? Let's say we have figure. So let's say we have some figures. Let's say this is sales. Why is it not working? This is okay. Okay, let me press Ctrl N. Let me try. Ctrl N, sales. Okay, it's working here, but it's not working in that place. Okay, so let's use this one. So let's say we want to we're trying to look at editing techniques and all that. So yeah, the first thing I want to say is that you want to move, right? So let's say you have sales. Let's have sales or who is John Ajayi that is presenting? So you have sales, you have months. So we have January. So January and all that. Then you can just come here. You can just click to have this repeated. So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So then let's quickly have some figures. So this one now, I want to take this one and shift it down. So this is where I want it. So sales for January, let's say the amount is, let me just quickly. So I also told us that if you want to put figures in a very big workbook, you can simply select everywhere you want the figures and just press your tab. Okay. Just press a tab. I know you still remember this. Press tab, tab. Quickly, you can quickly do this, and so you select all the place you want to put in figures. Then you just use tab to quickly achieve what you want to achieve. Okay. So there's a mistake. Mute your mic. Who is this person disturbing with the mic? Mute your mic. This person is disturbing. So let me come back and see who the person is. So you continue like this. Okay, so that thing has gone away. So let's assume this is okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to look at moving techniques or editing techniques, right? So the first. Mute your mic. If you are joining the class, mute your mic. If you are joining the training, mute your mic. Please don't let me tell you to mute your mic again. Okay, so you keep distracting us, and this call is on record. Okay, so we continue now. The first thing I want to do is that when you are on a worksheet, when you're on a worksheet, make sure that if you press home key, it takes you to the beginning of the tab. So what it takes you to is it takes you to cell A1. So let's just press home. If you press home on your keyboard, I can't see light here, but let me check. If you press home on your keyboard, anywhere you are currently, let's say we are here, we are on this place, then we want to activate, we want to get to the home, we just click on home. So anywhere you are, if you are on this cell, it will take you straight to the beginning of the row. Okay, so it takes it. So now they say that to get to the first column in a row, you know, we are in this row now. I mean, this is a row. So to get to this row, cut across a lot of columns. You can see column A cut across this row, column, so different columns. So if you are in column G, for instance, on this same row 126, okay, they said to get to the first column in the row, press home. So let's assume I am here on column K, right? And I want to get to the first column still on this same row. All I need to press is press the home, and it takes me straight to the first column on this same row. So this is the row I am. Let me color it so that we know that this is the row I am. I'm on this row. Let me color it. Okay, so I'm on this row. So anywhere I am on this row, if I want to get to the beginning of this row, from where I am, I will just need to press home. That's the first thing. The next thing they said is that to get to the last column in a row, you want to get to the last column in a row. So if you look at this row now, where is the last word or the last content? So if, assuming we have content here, we have these, we have figures. Let's say we have a figure here. Here also we have some figures. Now to get to the last content in the cell, okay, all you need to do, so first of all, we are here, we press home, we get to the beginning of that row. To get back to the last place in that place, we can hold our control and hold our right arrow key. I'm not sure I have a right arrow key, so I don't have a right arrow key on this keyboard, but what I have is not a right arrow key. But if you press the right arrow key, it takes you to the last item on the row. Then if you also want to move to the beginning of the cell, like you want to get to cell 1, just click on Control Home. Control Home takes you to the very beginning of your cell. So Control Home. Then what else we also want to learn? I'm going to be very fast so that we can move away from here, because a lot of people know all these shortcuts. So if I do that, okay, let's say I am on let me do something. Let's say I come here. I want to do something. I want to get to the last cell in this worksheet. So I can just come here to this place. Let me click on A. I think the last cell should be 1000. So let me put Z. Let me go to Z. Z 1000 Then we have, is it 576 or so? Okay, so what I will just do is that I will now, so you can see this is where I am. I am on, if you come to this way, you see I am on AZ 1048576. So I am here. I'm very far away from the beginning of the worksheet, but I want to get to the beginning of the worksheet. Okay, so what will I do? I simply hold my control and hold home. Once I hold home, then I'm going to get to the beginning of the worksheet. So I just click on home and I'm back at the beginning of the worksheet. So if I want to go to anywhere, I can do that thing I just did now. So what I did is I only press Control Home and it took me to the beginning of the worksheet. I want to be very fast with this so that I can finish what I have on this item, then I can go and do something that is more meaningful. So we've looked at how to get to the beginning of your worksheet by pressing Control Home. Okay, we've also looked at how to get to the last item on a worksheet. So if you press Control End from anywhere you are, press Control End, it takes you to the last. So this is the last place. Okay, this is the last place. So let's come to the beginning. That's the beginning of this row. We press Home, we come to the beginning of the row and all that. So now let's go back to that place we are. That is how we are to move everywhere. So now here we have been able to move from one place to another. If you want to get to the beginning of the row that you are, you can simply press Home. If you want to get to the beginning, the first cell, which is cell A1, press Control plus Home. You get to the first cell in your workbook, which is cell A1. So if you want to get to the last cell in your workbook where your content is, that contains your content, all you need to do is just press your Control End. When you press Control End, it takes you to the last item in your cell, in this your workbook. So let's press Control End. You see where it's telling me that this is the last place where items are in my workbook. Okay, let me go back to the beginning of the workbook. I simply press Control Home. I am at the beginning of the workbook. That is cell A1. If I want to come back to where I am, I can press Control End. It takes me back to where I am. If I want to go to the beginning of this row, I just simply press only Home. I am at the beginning of the row. Okay, I press only Home and I'm at the beginning of the row. I don't want to assume that we know it. That's why I'm taking my time to show us all these things. Then I've also showed us how to edit a cell. I told you that there are 3 ways you can edit a cell. You can either press F2. Okay, let's say I want to edit this cell where I have this moving technique. I want to edit it. Either I press, just put your cursor there, okay, then press your F2. Once you press your F2, you can see that your cursor is now clicking in the box. Okay, that is one method. We click out. The next thing you want to do is that you can double click on that cell by double clicking, and then as you double click, your cursor is also in the box. The last one is that when you click on a plate you want to edit whatever is in it, you can come to the formula bar to do whatever you want to do in that place. Okay, so that is that. So what about moving techniques when you want to move? Okay, now if you want to select all the area you intend to move, okay, then let's do something. So in case you want to do, let me quickly go to that other sheet. I need to use that to show us something. So let's assume I have all these items. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to learn how to move, the moving techniques. The first thing you need to do is that select all these things. So just select all these things like this. Once you've selected it, okay, once you've selected all the items and you want to move it, let's say this is not where I want it to be. So just look, once you've selected all the content you want to move, then go to the edge of the content. If you go to the edge of the content, your cursor becomes something like the plus sign will change from this white plus, it changes to another kind of plus sign. So once you have that plus sign, then right click on it and then with that, you can move the item anywhere you want it to go to. So let's say we want to put it at the beginning of the cell. So we put it at the beginning of the cell. So that is when we want to move items, okay? Without you scattering the way you want it to be, you can always select all the place the items are, then go to any of the edge. Any of the edge you go to, you also achieve that. So once your plus sign changes, you can easily move this thing to anywhere you want to move it to. That is the first one. What if you want to duplicate this? What if you don't want to move it? You want to just duplicate. Also select anywhere the items are, okay? Then go to any of the corner. Once your plus sign changes, what you want to do is that you want to now hold your control key. Once you hold control, then you now simply repeat the same thing, hold control key, repeat the same thing, and you'll be able to duplicate this item from where it is to another place. So let's say I want to duplicate this item, okay? So I simply go to the edge of it, and my cursor changes to another plus sign. I hold my control key, I right click, and then I simply move. So now I am duplicating this thing. I'm not moving it away from where it is. Unlike before that I was moving it from where it is. I want to duplicate it, and I simply duplicate it here, and I can drop it anywhere I want it to be. So I'm holding my control key. I also right click. So when I leave my right click, it has duplicated. I leave my right click, then I can leave my control. So that is how you can do that. So if I also want to duplicate this one now, I need to select all the items. Once I select the items, I go to the edge of the selected region. Once my plus sign changes, I can now hold my control key and press right click on that place. And with that, I can drag to anywhere I want to drag. I leave my right click first before leaving my control key. So that is if you want to now duplicate or you want to move items away from where it is. Okay, I can also still repeat the process. I can move this item away from here to another place. Okay, I can move it back to where I want it to be by just selecting all the place, and then once my plus sign changes, I can select and drag it away. So that is one. So let me press Ctrl Z, and let's check other things that we can do. Okay, so Ctrl Z, and let's check other things. So let's go back to that place. What if you want to copy and paste? There are techniques for copying and pasting. Okay, so I think with that, I've been able to show us how to mute your mic. Mute your mic. So there are techniques. I've been able to show you how to move a particular content from a place to another place and how to duplicate it. So that is what this one is for. What if you want to paste? There are different ways of pasting. You don't just paste anyhow. There's a place that you paste special, you paste like a transpose, you paste link, and a lot of things. So let's go to that same place where we are. Let's assume that all these items that we have here, okay, let's assume that all these, let me reduce them, okay? Let me reduce them. So let's say here I have, let me delete all this place. I don't want it to be too long. So I delete, fine. So I have just these items that are here. So let's say that these items, now I want to copy them and I want to paste them special, okay? So what will I do? I just need to select where they are and copy. So I press my Ctrl C. Once I press my Ctrl C, I can go to anywhere on this sheet. I can just press and I can press my Ctrl V. That is the normal copy and paste that everybody knows. So, but let's do something. What if I have, let me do something. You know, yesterday we set some items, right? We set some items, we set some names, we put some list in the box. Let's say we have some name, let's say John. We made some names yesterday, and we made pre-made list. So I'll just drag so that those pre-made lists, the names can show. Oh, sorry. We made some pre-made lists yesterday. I think it's not here. Let me go to my file. Once I go to my file, I come to options. Once I come to options, then I come to advanced. Yes, just like we did yesterday. When I come to advanced, then I scroll to the bottom. I look for edit custom list. So when I click on edit custom list, oh, that means that whatever it means that whatever worksheet you are creating, you need to create a pre-made list on that worksheet. So let's go back to the worksheet that we have been using. Let's see if we get that pre-made list from that worksheet. I just want to confirm, or we come back to this worksheet. Let's try and see if the pre-made list that we made yesterday is going to be here. I come to options, I come to advanced, then from advanced, I scroll to the bottom, I check edit custom list, I check it, and it's not here. Probably we didn't save it. So it means that we didn't save it. We didn't save it yesterday. Okay, that's what it is. We didn't save it yesterday, or maybe we didn't use, maybe this is not the file that we used for yesterday, but we didn't save it. So let's redo that. Okay, so it's not here. So what we're going to do is this. I also told us how to create pre-made list. Okay, before we do that, let's come back to this worksheet I'm using. Okay, now we want to create, let's assume all this staff, we have plenty staffs, and those staff, we are paying them salary monthly. Okay, we are paying them salary monthly, and then it means that every month they have gross salary in the month. Then we are because we want to compute their pay, they have the gross, they have all the deductions, they have the net that we're going to show them. Okay, you know, the paying computation is another sheet entirely. So what I'm going to do is that instead of us to start typing the names every time, okay, so we want to have something like the serial number. We want to have the serial number. Okay, now after having the serial number, after adding the serial number, which we are going to have, another thing I want to also show us is that in our Excel, we don't have pre-made list for numbers. So when you press 1 and you want to autofill, you come to your 1, you want to autofill it, and then you come to this bottom here, and then your mouse become a plus, and then you drag it down. You discover that there is no pre-made list for numbers. So what can you do if you want to do this? If you want it to autofill, so let me press Ctrl Z. If you want it to autofill, this is what you do. Once you have your number like that, and you've created, and you click your mouse here, and it becomes a plus. You can see that it becomes a dark plus. What you need to do is that now hold your Control key. You discover that the plus will now become 2. The plus become 2, then right click and drag down. So you want to leave your right click first before leaving your Control key. So let me repeat it again. There is no pre-made list for numbers. Numbers, there's no pre-made list, but we have pre-made list for either date, January, Monday to like the days of the week, there's pre-made list. The days of the month in the year, there's pre-made list. But you see numbers and any other thing, there's no pre-made list. That means that you can create whatever list you want to create, but you don't need to create for numbers, because for numbers, you can always, if you want to have a list of 1, 2, 3, once you have your 1, you can just come to the bottom here. You will see that your plus sign has changed to this dark plus. Then right click on it as if you want to fill. Then hold your Control key. You discover that your plus becomes 2. Once your plus becomes 2, then drag down to where you want the numbers to get to. So we are dragging down. I leave my right click first. When I leave my right click first, the numbers will autofill on its own. Now, it doesn't mean that there's a pre-made list on the keyboard for numbers. There's no pre-made list. So the next thing I want to do is I want to see name. Let's say we want to have name. Okay, want to have names. So let's go and create. So what I want to do is I want to create a pre-made list for some names. So let's come to create a pre-made list for some names. Let's go to our file. When you go to your file, then scroll down to options. When you get to options, the next thing you want to do is that you want to scroll down to where you see advanced. Click on advanced. Then once you click on advanced, you scroll down to the bottom, you look for edit custom list. So once you see edit custom, you click on it. Then what we want to do is I want to now create new list. So we now come here, we say, okay, our staff, we have John. Sorry, we have John. We have Peter. We have Dele. We have Taiwo. and then we have Bola. So let's just leave it at this. So let's say this is our start, okay? So we add Bola. So what we do is that we now click on add. When you click on add, then the next thing you click on OK. Then you click on OK again, and automatically that pre-made list have been saved. So now let's press, okay, I don't want to save this. I don't want to save this. Maybe this is what happened yesterday. I didn't save it. So our pre-made lists have been saved. So if you come back to your file again, go to your options again, then go to advanced, and then scroll down to access the edit custom list. You will discover that as part of the pre-made list, we now have John, Peter, Dele, and Taiwo, and so on. It's already here. So let's cancel here. So let's now, we want to cancel here. So let's come here. Let's now press John. That list now will generate itself. So we have John. So let's now, so to make our cursor remain, to make us remain on that cell, you press Control Enter. So once you press Control Enter, then we come to this corner. Our plus sign has changed to a plus. Then we now click and then we drag to the bottom. Is it that when we drag to the bottom, we are going to have the names of those people. So John, Peter, Dele, Taiwo. They are just anywhere you go to. We can start from anywhere. Let's start with Bola. So here we can start with Bola. So Control Enter. Then you come to the bottom. You see that your plus have changed. Drag anywhere. You are going to see. Okay. So Bola, John, Peter. It's going to that is pre-made list for names. So what do I want to do? So we've gotten. Oh, sorry. We've gotten that. We've gotten this. Okay. Now we've gotten this. Then the next thing we want to do is that we've gotten names. Then let's get that gross salary. Gross. Okay, I want to show us something. So we have gross here. Gross salary. Okay, so these are gross salary. Salary. Okay, so gross salary. So let's now select everywhere that we want our salary to be. We select everywhere we want our salary to be, right? So let's start typing. So the first one, we want to put 300, 1, 2, 3. Then the next one, tab 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, tab. Oh, what's going on? It's not working the way I want it. Okay. So once I do like this, I auto. So after that, press enter. Oh, sorry, I'm coming. I made a mistake before. So yeah, let me take away. Then I copy like this. I start tapping. Okay, I press tab. It's supposed to work. I press another tab. 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 So this is our gross salary. Tab. 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 I think I can also press enter. So the last one, tab, let me press enter also. Enter, I can also press enter. So fine. So when you're going down, you can press enter. But when you're going across on a row, you cannot press enter. So what do I want to do? Now, I have all these people like this now. So let me go and sort. So let me sort it so that I want to, let's assume, for John, let's assume we have different salary for January, February, March, April, May. So now for John now, John has been able to enjoy. So this is John. From year to year, we have gotten John, Peter, Dele, Taiwo, Bola. Let's assume this is the salary for January. Again, we have John, Peter, Taiwo, whatever, Bola. So that means that we have January. This is January. This is February. This is the gross salary for March. This is the gross salary for April. This is the gross salary for May. This is the gross salary for. So let's continue from here. Let me also continue from here. For June. So let me continue till I get to where I want to get to. So let me go again. So this is the gross salary for January. This is January. January. Okay. This is February. So when you do an action and you want the action to repeat itself, all you do is that press Is it F4? Press F4 on your piano. After you've, I say piano, after you've carried out a function and you want it to repeat itself, just press F4 and you see that automatically I color this place yellow, and then I want to color this place yellow also. I just press F4. Let me come to this place also. I'll just press my F4 again. Let me see if it's going to work. F4. You can see, so F4 repeats the last action that you carried out. So F4, press F4 again. Anywhere I see John, I want to press F4. I copy where I want. I put, that is my F4, like that, like that. So this is John again. F4. So I press my F4. So F4 repeats the last action that you carried out. That is what F4 does. So another John, I press F4. Instead of me to start going to go and look for how to color it, I press another F4, and so on and so forth. Here also F4. I also come here. I'm looking for John. I'm pressing F4 everywhere. Everywhere I see John, F4. So I want to assume that these are salaries for different months. Okay, different months. And also you can also select more than one place at the time. You can select more than one place at the time. I also press F4 and everything has been done. So yeah, that is one thing. Once you have done, once you carry out the action, you can always press F4 to repeat that action in other places that you are. So I'm taking us somewhere. Don't mind that it is slow, but let's continue. You are going to get what I'm trying to teach us in this class. So the next thing is that let's autofill here. So to autofill here, you hold your control key and press right click and drag to the bottom for the numbers. So we now leave our right click, and that is that. Then for here, I want to fill in this space with numbers. So we quickly fill that with number. So okay, so that is that. So I've been able to fill all this space with numbers. So what else do I want to do? So now I assume that all these places, these are different salaries for different months. So from John to Bola, this is the salary we pay them for January, okay? From here again, we pay them for February. For here, we pay them for March. We pay them for April. Then we move on for May, for June, for July, for August, for September, for October, and then this is the salary that we pay them for December, and they are all gross salary. So we don't need from here to this. We don't need all this one. So let's delete it. So now these are the salaries that we paid to these people for 12 months. So what do you want to do? Now I want to teach us where you can paste special, and then where you can paste and transpose. So let me show us where transpose is. So here you can see that here when you are doing pasting technique, you can paste special, you can paste transpose, you can paste with a link, and so on and so forth. So I want to teach us transpose. We have to transpose now. So what do we now do to this data? We want to sort this data. So we now click on this place. Okay, we click on this place. Let's press our alt key. We press A for data. Then we press T to sort. So I just use what I did is I press my alt key. I press alt. I press my alt key. Alt key plus A, then plus T. You can create your own. So if I press alt key now, it activates all these tabs. Then I'm going to data tab. Data is A. I press A. Then I know that I want to sort, and this funnel now is what represents sorting, and under it is showing T. So I press T. So once I press T, anywhere I am is going to make that sorting to appear. So let me click on this place again. So this is formula. This is a shortcut I want to press. I want to press Alt. I'll press Alt. After I press Alt, I press A. After I press A, then I'll press T to sort. So automatically, I have been able to put my sorting at the top. So what do I want to do? I want to sort alphabetically. I want John to be, I want to see all the Johns I have, all the Peter I have, and all the Taiwo, all the Dele, and all the Bola I have. So I come here, I click on this drop down, and I sort A to Z. Once I sort A to Z, you see that Bola is the first person that is showing, Dele is the next person, and so John is the next person, and so on and so forth. So let's assume that my Oga said that this company that is giving us this data is giving us data for different months, and we are audit firms. We want to calculate our own salaries that they incurred for 2025 by ourselves. We want to compute our payroll by ourselves. So what do we need to do? They've given us all the month breakdown, the salary structure, gross for January, gross for February for each of the staff. What we do is that we now come and copy the gross. We copy all the names for each of the months. We put them together like that. And then you now say, okay, let's now sort it. We have sorted it. Instead of about to start adding together like this, then they say that they want to see for Bola now, they want to see the salary they paid out for January. They want to see for February, March, April, and May. So what do you need to do? Just come and copy. Okay, this is where your copy is. So what you need to do is copy like this. Once you copy like this, okay, you copy to where Bola is, press Ctrl C. Once you press Ctrl C, then come back and select the first item here. Okay, then now right click. When you right click, you now see that here there's a pay special. This pay special. Now come to this right hand side. You will see other drop down. So we want to transpose this thing. You will see something that looks like this. This is transpose. This is what the transpose is. So click on transpose. Okay, let me repeat the action because there is an item here, so it's not going to work. Let me redo it. Okay, let's say, okay, let me do something. What do I want to do now? Okay, let me leave the first. Let me leave the first item that is here. Let me leave it. Let me start copying from here. Okay, I copy to where Bola ends. When I copy where Bola, I press Ctrl C. Once I press Ctrl C, I come to this place. I assume that the first item here is for January. Okay, then I have for February, March, April, May for Bola, and I come here. I want to transpose it. Then I right click. When I right click, I will see all this space. I can simply do Ctrl V. If I do Ctrl V here, it will still show me like this. But that's not what I want. I want to show against Bola. I want everything to show against Bola like this to the right. So that at the right, you can say that, okay, this is what Bola took for January. These are gross for February. These are gross for March. These are gross for April, and so on and so forth. So let me Ctrl Z here. Then instead of me to place the normal paste, which is Ctrl V, I will now right click. When I right click, then you can see this thing that looks like, how will I call it? You can see this thing. This is your transpose. Click on transpose. Okay? Click on transpose. When I click on transpose, all these things that are here, they've come to this side. So what do I need to do? I can simply come here and delete all this one. Since I've transposed it and I add everything together for Bola, I can decide to delete all this one now. I can cut. Oh, not cut. I want to delete, sorry. I can delete it like this. Okay, I want to delete this place. I'm just showing us how to use transpose. Majority of us, we see all those things, but we don't know how to use it. Now we are done with Bola. So Bola now is only having only one Bola here. And we can see all the gross salary going across for Bola. So the next person is Dele. Okay, so let's say this is the first salary that Dele collected in January. Then all these ones, we want to cut it away and transpose them. So we now press Ctrl C. Then we come here to in front of the salary that Dele collected for January. We put it here. We right click. When we right click, we come and press our transpose. Okay, so automatically we have all the salary that Dele collected for February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So we can go on and delete all these things that are here. So the reason why I'm going through all this stress because I don't want to always show us how to use how to transpose. I also want to show us the usefulness of transpose. Then I'll now go and show us something I did yesterday that use this same trick. So I also come here now. This is John. These are all the salaries that John collected for the month of January to December. I also control C, I copy it, and I come in front of John. I come and paste it here. Then I right click. When I right click, then I come and paste transpose. Okay, I've transposed every salary that John collected. So that here I can have January, I can have February here, I can have March, I can have April, May, June, July. These are all the gross. At the end of the day, I can add everything together here as the total gross. And I will now use it for my computation. So yeah, since I'm done with this one, I can also delete this one like this. I can delete this. So it's slow, but I want to achieve something. That is why I'm doing all this. So I can also come here, copy this one again, and come and transpose. So instead of us doing all these things, I said I'm going to show us a formula. So I also come and transpose this one. I delete for Peter. I only have one Peter now on this my worksheet. Okay, so I delete this one. It's very slow, but at the same time, you want to get your figures accurately. I copy this one again. I copy it. I come here. I transpose it like this. So this is your transpose. I transpose it. Then I delete everything that we have over here. So I delete everything that we have over here. So at the end of the day, you can see that here are all the names of the staff. I have Bola, Dele, John, Peter, and Taiwo. Then here I want to take off all these sorting. Now I don't need to sort anymore. I now press on my Alt key, press my A, and then press my T. I've undo it. So the shortcuts now, I've learned a shortcut now for sorting. To sort, I just press my Alt key, press A, and press T. Okay, wherever I want to sort, I'll put it there. So what I want to do is I want to delete all this. Okay, this is gross salary, Abby. So gross salary. So I want to copy. Let me delete this gross. Okay, so all these are gross salary. So let me delete them. So I want to now show that this is January, February, March, April, May. I know that they are all gross. Okay, so this is January. Then Control Enter. Then I want to move it like this. So I have January to. Oh, I don't have up to December. Are you serious? Oh, the last one. I didn't do the last one. This is the last one now. So this is January. This is February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We didn't have December. So let's just formulate something for December. So this is December. Okay, for December now, I want to have some figures here. So I want to put figures in all this place. I like everything. So that's that. So I have figures for December. So at the end of the day, we have all these things. All these things are the total. These are the gross salary. So here is the gross. The total gross salary I want to use for my computation. So what I'll do, I'll now sort. Sorry, I will now press Alt equals because I want to sum everything. I press Alt equals. I can click on my OK. So the next thing is that I want to now, and that I can do is I can add everything together at once. I'll just alight everywhere and press my Alt equals. Okay, at once. So I can alight everything together and press Alt equals at once, and I will also be able to sum it at once. So now that I have my gross salary, I can go on to use this my gross salary for my payroll computation, for my payee computation. So let me ask, do we all understand what I've done? Hello?
Yes, sir. Very clear, sir.
All right, thank you for that. So that is that. I need to put on my, sorry, let me put on my solar so that this thing will not go off. Just give me 2 minutes, please. 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry for that. So now let's continue. Um, yeah, so we've been able to look at all these things, transpose, space special, and a lot of other things. There are other things that you can look there that you can also learn on your own. Okay, so we've done majority of this one. There are some things I did not show us. I didn't show us how to select. Selecting technique is also very, very important. How do you select? So to select the entire thing on a column, you can press. So this is where we are now. To select entire column, press Control plus the space bar. So hold your Control key and press space bar. So I'm coming. Let me do something. Okay, so this is where I am. I am here. I want to select the total of column D. So I'll press my Control key and space bar. But because in this my cell, this is my worksheet, I did what's it called? I merged some cells. That's why it's behaving the way it's behaving. So let me go to another sheet that I didn't do that. So let me come to this sheet. Now I want to select the total column H. Okay, I want to select the total column H. So I'll pick anywhere inside column H. Okay, then I press Control space, and automatically I'm selecting everywhere inside column H. So I'm selecting the total of column H. Okay, so if you come here, you see H, and where it's highlighted, where my cursor is on H8. That's fine. So the next thing you want to do, apart from you selecting like that, you also want to also try to work on roll. To select the total roll, hold your shift space bar. You're going to select the total roll in your workbook. So to select your total column, Control space bar, Control plus space bar. You're going to select the total column like this. To select the total row, Control plus Shift plus space bar. You're going to select the total. So another thing you want to do is that if you want to also select, the other ways you can select. Let's assume I want to select this entire the content in this thing. So let me first about duplicate this thing. Let me duplicate it just like the way I told us. I said go to any of the edge, okay? Then when your plus become that, hold your control and then right click and then you drag. I want to duplicate it, okay? So I want to do that again. Repeat the process. I'm duplicating. I want to duplicate again. Okay. So what do I need to do? After I've duplicated, the next thing I want to do now is that I want to learn how to select. So the first thing you can do is that you can come here. You can come to this beginning like this. You can use your mouse to start selecting, right? But how accurate and how quick can you do that? So that is one word. You can select like this. But another way you can do is that you can put your mouse here. Then when you come to where you want your exec to select to, you can press shift enter. So I want to come here. So I will shift click. I'll hold my shift, then I click here, and automatically it select everywhere. Let me do it again. I come to this place, or I can even come here. Sorry, I can even come here, click on this place, okay, and I want to select from here to the entire worksheet where my data is. I'll click on this place. This is the last place that my data is. I want to select everything. So when I come to this place, I'll hold my shift key, and then I'll now click on this place. So I shift click. I'm selecting the total data on this thing. So what if I want to select everything on this worksheet again, but my cursor is here, or my cell is here? I come to this name box. Come to the name box, okay? Now I know that where my data end, it ends in this place. My data end in, if you go to the cell, to the name box, you will see it's O29. That is where my data end. This place here, this cell now is O29. So from this place, I want to select everywhere from this place to this place, the beginning, which is A. If you go to my name box, it's A22. So what I'll do is that I can click on A22, come to the name box, and type O20. Sorry, O is different from letter O. O029. Sorry, 029. Then what I will do is that I will now hold my shift. Okay, hold my shift key and press enter. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is that I want to select where these data are. I know that my data, the end of my data is 029. And I know that my data begins from A2. I want to select everywhere. So to select it quickly, I can click here, I can click anywhere, I can decide to click here. Okay, go to my name box and go and press A key, hold my shift key. If I hold my shift key, I press enter, and it selects everywhere. So that is one. You can either shift click or go to the name box and go and shift enter. Two things if you want to select. If I decide to select, I don't want to use the name box. If I don't use the name box, I will shift click. I will shift click. So let me come here. I'm clicking on this place. I want to click here. I will shift, then click. Shift click. When you're not using the name box, you can shift click. But if you're using the name box, you will shift enter. So let me repeat it again. I want to select, and I don't want to use name box. I'll come here, I click here. Then where I want to select to, I will shift click to that place. Shift click. I will shift click. I will shift click. I will shift click. So if I'm not using the name box, I am shift clicking. So yeah, let's come back here to our this thing. So if you are selecting, okay, when you are selecting, you can always shift click. When you shift click, you are not using the name box. If you are shift clicking, you are not using the name box. But if you shift enter, that means you are using the name box. Okay. So two things. Either you want to shift click, you come to anywhere, you shift click. So let's come here. I want to shift click, Abby. So shift. I press anywhere first. When I press anywhere, I hold my shift click, shift key. Then I click on anywhere I want to select to. Shift click. Okay. I press here. I come to anywhere. I shift click. I press here. I come to anywhere. I shift click. I come here. I come to anywhere. I shift click. Okay. So I can do that for anywhere. Press here. Come to this place. Shift click. Then another thing I can do is that I know that the end of a worksheet. The end of a worksheet is a 1,000 1 million, sorry, 48,000 and something. So let's assume I want to start from this place, okay, and I want to select to the last end of my keyboard. The last end. Let me do something. Let me press shift space key. Then this will take me to the last end of my keyboard. The last end. of the keyboard, okay? The last end of where my data is selected. Okay, fine. So now I want to now select all those places from the beginning. I'm on A1. I want to, because I'm going to use the name box. I'm going to use the name box. I'm going to shift enter. So I come to the name box. I'm selecting here now. Where do I want to select to? Where from here I click on this cell and I want to select the entire thing that is this cell to the end of the workbook. I know that at the end of the workbook. So let's say I want to select A 1 million, 1 million. Oh, what's going on? Sorry. So I didn't connect my this in. I'm coming. Oh. Coming. All right. So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what I want to do, I want to shift click. That if I'm shift clicking, I won't use the name box, but if I shift enter, I'll only shift enter when I'm using the name box. So yeah, I want to select the beginning of this worksheet, and I click on the beginning of this worksheet, which is A1. And I want to now select the content of A1 to the end of the worksheet, and my content is ending in column O, right? So I want to select the first one, which is starting from A, and I want to now select it to the end of the worksheet. So I come to the name box. I'll now pick O 1 million 48,000 1, 2, 3. So what will I do when I'm using the name box? What am I supposed to do? Who can tell me? If I'm using name box, what am I supposed to do? Am I shift clicking or shift enter? What is the right thing to do?
Enter.
Shift enter.
Okay, so I'm now holding my shift. I'm not press. Now I've already pressed in the name box. I've already put where I want to select the content to. So I hold my shift and I press enter. Automatically, you see that here it has selected to the end of the worksheet. The end of the worksheet is, I think it's more than 1 million. But let's try and go down. I think 1,048,500 and either 67 or so from yesterday's class. 576, Abi. Okay, so
Yes.
you can see that I'm selecting all the content of this space. So let's assume I'm also here. I'm here now. Okay, I'm at the end of column O. I want to select from here to where my A1, is. So what will I do? I'll come to my name box here, name box, and I press A1. So I'm not shift enter. Automatically it selects to where A1 is. So I believe that we've known this one. And I believe that we'll be able to use it in whatever we are doing. So if you want to select the entire column, you press your enter and your space bar. Okay, you're pressing the entire column. You want to press it, you want to select the entire row, press your shift and space bar. That is one. Then if you want to select, you can press a space, then shift click, or press a space and then go to your name box and go and shift enter. Shift enter. Okay, so that is that. So that is that. Then you can also select like this. Select like this. Shift click another place. Shift click. You can always shift click, or you can select a place. Hold your control key and select additional places like that. So there are a lot to learn, and I don't want to believe that we don't know them. I believe that majority of us we have little knowledge about them, but we just need to continue to practice them in order for us to be able to know them. So let's now move away and go and do something that is more meaningful. We are done with the little things that we need to learn. So let me go and open a file that I saved yesterday. I worked on a file yesterday and it's on still on this our payroll. Okay, I worked on a file yesterday. I hope I can see it. I worked on a file yesterday, and so let me just open this file. Okay, I just want to open this file. Okay, I want to show us. I want to use this to show us something. Though this is not what I actually need to show us, but I just want to use to show us something. So yes, you can see now exactly what I taught you. For these people, I had this. They gave me some salary of different months. So those salary of different months, I had to now copy all the gross salary for each of the months. I put it the way I'm showing us in this our worksheet. I copied all the salary. So where is that place? Is it this file? No. Have I closed it? Wow. Okay. I think. Okay, so what I did, let me go back to the beginning. So let me come here and click on A1, or let me just click on Control Home. It takes me to the beginning of the worksheet. So let me click anywhere, click on Control Home. It takes me to the beginning of the worksheet. Okay, fine. So exactly what I did here, they gave me the names of people, right? And then they also gave me different gross salary for different months. So what I did is that I copied all the names, right? Because remember that it's not all the names given to you that will be in January, be in February, be in March. Some staff will come, sometimes will go, sometimes will join, sometimes will. So that's why I had to now take all the names for January. Okay, I put them in this worksheet. I also took the gross for January. I also put them side by side. I also went to copy. So let me show you what I did. So let me show us what I did. Let me delete this one. Okay. So that we understand what I did. Okay. What I did is that now we already have pre-made lists for names on this our workbook. Okay, we already have pre-made lists, so it'll be easy for us. So here, let's say I want to work on the salary that they give me. So what I did is that I have the names of the staff. Let me start with John. I have the name of the staff. Okay, so I just feel like this. So they gave me different months from January to December. So each of them have the name, have the gross salary. So what I did is that I just copied for the name for January. I copy it in a worksheet. I copy the gross salary for January. I also put it here. Then for February, I come and put it at the bottom because I don't want to assume that it's the same stuff that we have in January that we have in February. Some of them will leave, some of them will join. So it only makes sense that I don't want to do lazy man work. In January, you can see that they have 25 staff. In February, they can have 15. In March, they can have 30. So you don't assume that John, being number 1 here, will be the same number 1 in February or March. Somebody else, John can leave, and that person can replace him. So what I did is that I copied the total names for the staff for January. I copied the total gross for that same January. Then I copy the names in February. I come and put under it like this. I copy it under it. I copy the gross salary for February. I copy the same thing for March, April, and all those things. When I finish doing it, and I go and start sorting, I sorted them. When I sort them, so that the old John that I have, maybe we pay John for 5 months. I will see the total John that I have, and I will see the salary that we pay to John. If we have daily for 10 months, I will see the daily that we have and see the months that it was paid. At the end of the day, and I start doing manual work. I started copying and I started transposing, just like I showed us. And this is what it translated to. It translated to this thing you are seeing here. So this is what it translated to. You can see that here, I have a gross for this place. This is one gross. This is another gross. This is another gross. Like that. I have gross going across. Okay. So for the whole of 12 months, so you can see that some people did not continue. Some people only did 1 month. Some did not do February. They didn't do March. Some only do January and February. Some only do January. Some only do January and February. Some did up to August. Some did to December, and so on and so forth. When I did all those things, at the end of the day, I now added their gross. I now have their total gross, which is going to be for January, February, and March to December. So this is the total gross for the year, and I use it for my computation. Then the next thing I want to show us is that because I also needed to like classify salary. Salaries can be classified into cost of sales or administrative expense. I also classify them based on what, if you have done your transpose, you have eliminated duplicates, right? The eliminated duplicates without throwing away the value that they did. For instance, I showed us that if I have 20 John like this, I'll go and copy the gross. When I copy the gross, I transpose it and everything will be in front of John. So I can copy John and the total gross salary that John earned in the year. I can copy all those things. So when I did all those things, then I have this one. So this is what I have. But I can do another thing that can also cater for all these things. Instead of me doing manual work, I can still do something that is more professional. And that is where you need to now start using Excel formulas, okay? Excel formulas. So I want to classify these people now as administrative, as cost of sales, because your salaries can be classified under cost of sales and also under administrative expense. So what did I do? I look at all those people, the names, their designation, and was able to classify where their salary is going to belong to. So now, because I want to use this salary in the account I'm preparing, I needed to now have the total. I don't want to start adding manually. I've already done the first manual work, which is taking all their gross, I transpose them so that they are all showing in front, so that I don't have 2 daily, for instance. I don't have 5 daily. I don't have 10 daily. I want to have only 1 daily. Then all the gross salary that you see is in the front like that. So that's how I did this thing. Then the next thing is that I've also classified them into administrative and cost of sales. Then what do I now do? And I nested the formula. Look at this. I nested the formula. So here I have administrative expense. I have cost of sales. Then I know that they are all salaries. Then what do I want to do? I want to get the total annual net salaries for the people that are classified under administrative and the people that are classified under cost of sales. I also want to get their gross salary for these same people. So look at the formula I use. Let me show you. I use this formula. This formula is short, but when you want to use this formula, there are times that you might need to use this formula, and the formula will be very long, especially when you want to use it for your five balance. Okay, it's going to be very long because here you are using combination of both if and some if. So now we already understand what if function is about, but it's not enough. You still need to understand what some if is about. So when you are doing some if, this is what you're telling Excel. Okay, let's look at this formula. This formula that we have here, we want to look at some if. Instead of me to go and start adding, like, for instance, I can decide to go here, sort all these things, let all the administrative expense show, and let all the cost of sales show. Now, this is because I'm just classifying them into administrative and only cost of sales. What if the classification is more than this? What if I have, like, if you are classifying your bank statement, okay? You have bank statement, you have bank charges, you have sales, you have rent, you have salaries, you have the different classification. So this is where you need to learn how to use formula, okay? Let your formula do your summing for you. So what we are doing now, we are now using sum if. It's a sum if formula we want to learn now. How do you do? You already understand your if formula. Your if formula, you have to make a statement. And when you make a statement, you also now set two answers. But how do you now combine your if and your sum if together? So we need to learn the sum if formula or the function. Sum if function. So what is sum if saying? Sum if is saying that if you go to this place, if you see so person giving this amount, you are sending Excel message. Whenever you are using sum if, you are sending Excel on an errand. If you are using if, you are asking Excel, telling Excel, asking Excel to think for you. Okay, when Excel thinks for you, then Excel will tell you that, okay, based on what I've talked about, this is your answer. Okay, this is the answer of what the assignment you are doing. But when you are using the sum if, you are sending Excel on errand. You are telling Excel that go to so place. If you see daily, then give him 5 naira. If you see so person do so for him. Okay, you are sending Excel on errand. So how do you use the sum if? So the sum if also, this is it. You say, look at this formula now. This formula is working on this it's working on this sheet, the payee computation sheet. So what is the formula saying? I said that you already know that the if you make a statement, and I say sum if, this is a statement I'm making. For if I'm making a statement, I say sum if in this payee computation. So when you're using sum if also, you also going to open your bracket. Okay, when you are doing your if, when you say equal to if, you open your bracket and start your statement. And my statement is an if. I want to use an if formula. So I say, okay, equal to if, and I open my bracket, and I say sum if, any function you are using, you have to start with open bracket. So I say sum if, I open my bracket again, and I say you go to this payee computation. I'm telling Excel, you go to this payee computation, okay? Then you go to column C. You can see C here. C. Now I put C here and I put a dollar sign before C, meaning that absolute, only C, only the column of C is what I want you to go and check. If you go to this payee computation, okay, you go to this payee computation, okay, then you come to C, this column C, okay. This is what I'm telling Excel. I'm sending Excel on an errand. I say, if you go to this payee computation, okay, you go to column C, then check whether you see A2. Okay, A2. What is my A2? Now, my A2 now does not have any sheet attached to it. My C has payee computation attached to it. So this C, I'm talking about column C on the payee computation template. Column C on the payee computation. But where you are seeing that I didn't put any other thing, I say, okay, comma, okay. Now I said that, okay, Excel, sum if you come to the payee computation template, you under column C, you now see what is contained in A2. What is contained in A2? A2 is here. This is my A2. So this A2 now, you go, you see administrative expense, okay? You see A2. Let's go back to it. You see A2. Then, under the same payee computation, sum AF to AF. So I'm putting a dollar sign before both of them. So this is what I'm telling Excel. I say, come to this payee computation, okay? When you come to this payee computation, check column C. If you check column C, if you see administrative, right? And I'll say, come back to this payee computation, go and add AF. So what is contained in AF? Let's go straight. Let's come to our name box and type AF. So our name box, we put AF and press enter. Our AF and press enter. So what's, hold on, I'm coming. So I come to this, my place, I put AF what? Let's say AF1. You cannot only press column. Anytime you are putting anything on the name box, you have to press both the column and the role you want it to work on. So I say AF, let's say AF 2. Okay, we'll press enter. So it will take us to AF. What is in AF? AF is the net salary. So what I'm telling Excel is that I say, come to this my payee computation, go to column C. If you go to column C and you see administrative, go to column F and add everything. Sorry. Go to column AF and add everything that you see in column AF. So where's my AF? Let's go and check. So this is my AF. So I'm telling Excel, if you go to this payee computation, check column C. Whatever you see in column C, trace it to the figures you have in AF and add it together. So this is how to use sum if. So let's now put it down. To use your sum if, you are sending Excel an assignment. And that assignment, so let me go to, I'm coming, let me check. What's that, my templates? Yeah, so this is now. So yeah, let's come here now. So this thing I'm teaching us is what we're going to use to do our, what we're going to use to do our trial balance. When you have your bank statement, you've analyzed your bank statement, then you need to go and next a formula. So that formula now will be getting your what will be under your debit column. You also get what you have under your credit column. And you see that all those transactions on your bank that are so much, you just use the if and the sum if function to quickly get them solved once and for all. So now, if you are working on the sum if function now, so the sum if function, so when you're working on the sum if function, comma, you are sending Excel on an errand. Okay? E.g. Oh, sorry. E.g. I can say, go to the classwork sheet. I can tell Excel to go to the classwork sheet. Okay. Then when I say go to the classwork, now this is it. Whenever you want to use text in a sentence, okay? Whenever I want to use text in a sentence, whenever I want to use text in a formula, we can use text in a formula. So, but this is the rule. Whenever I want to use text in a formula, you can either put one quote before it. So let's check, put one quote before it. So one quote at the beginning, one quote, not two quotes, one quote at the beginning, another quote at the end. So it's telling Excel that this is either a name or it's a text. Okay, so put a quote. So I'm telling Excel, I say go to the classwork sheet. So classwork sheet, okay. Let me delete sheet. So classwork, let me put column here, this thing. So this is how to tell Excel that this classwork is not a number, it is a text. Okay, so I say go to the classwork sheet. Okay, I'm telling Excel, comma, and I say, and you put a factorial. There's this thing they call factorial, and tell Excel that, let me go and look at that thing again to guide us well. Where is it? Is this one? Yeah, so look at it. Now. Yeah, so you can see that this payee computation, it's having an open quote, just one at the beginning. It's also having an open quote at the end. After the open quote, it has a factorial. So it has a factorial. So it's like saying that, okay, on that sheet, go to column C. Okay, column C. So let's now go back again. We now come here again. We now say, when you are using letters in your formula, put an open quote so that you are telling Excel that this is a text. It can either be the name of a sheet or it can just be a text. Maybe you can tell Excel to give you a text as the answer you need. You can use for if function. You can tell Excel, give me, for instance, if you say, okay, if the scores of this student is higher than so and so, give them good. So to put that good there in that formula, you're going to put open quote, you're going to quote it, okay, to let Excel understand that you're using a text, that formula. However, if they don't get so and so, give it bad. So you can set good as your first answer, set bad as your second answer. You can set excellent or any other thing. But whenever you're using text in a formula, make sure you put it in a quotation, okay? So I told Excel that, okay, I say that when you go to this classwork sheet, okay, you know the classwork, this is the classwork sheet, Abby. So I said, if you go to the classwork sheet, so let me go to where the thing is again. Okay, so this, I said, if you go to the classwork sheet, when I'm done pressing that classwork sheet, I have to put this factorial, okay, I put that factorial sign there, okay, so I put that factorial sign there. Then where do I want Excel to go and check? Do I want Excel to check column A? So I'll now say, okay, I don't want Excel to move away from column A. Let me first put the dollar sign and I put column, I say A, right? A column, another A again. Sorry, before I put that A, let me also put down that dollar sign. I say go to A. Once you go to A and I put comma. So what do I want Excel to go and check in that place? What I want Excel to go and check, I will also now indicate it. So let's assume that I'm on this file now. I'm in Tor. Okay, I'm in Tor. Then in Tor, there is a place I want Excel to go and, there's something I want Excel to go and check. Maybe I want Excel to check the first word I put in this bracket. Maybe I put, let's say I put, let's say, what can I say? I put there. Let's say I'm putting, okay, numbers. Okay, I say, okay, I'm putting, let's say 2. I put 2 here. I put 4 here. I put 5. I put 6. It can be number. It can be word. It can be bank charges. I can say bank charges. Bank charges. Okay, yeah, it can be soap, SOAP. It can be spoon. So what I'm trying to teach us how to use this sum if. So the sum if, you are sending Excel on an errand, you're telling Excel, go to this classwork template, go to column A, right? Under that column A, if you see, then I will not tell Excel what Excel is going to go and look for. So I put a comma. Then what do I want Excel to go and look for? I can say the thing I want Excel to go and look for must be in a cell. I can say, okay, comma, and I'll say dollar sign. Let me see dollar sign. Where am I? So this is where I'm supposed to be. Double click. I'm supposed to be here. So I said, if you see dollar sign A, I am on A155, I mean 150, 159. You will see A159, comma, then because I'm summing, okay? What do I want you to go and sum? Go and sum. So I start again. The thing in the workbook that I want you to sum. And I'll come again and I say class work. I put the close of the quotation mark. Then I now say where do I want you to sum? I can say go and sum the content of column B. I put this thing again. Then I put another dollar sign. I say B. Then at the end of the day, I close my bracket. So once I do that, I press my enter and automatically Excel will go and do what I want to do. So take note of something. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So this is what I want you to take note of. Take note of something. When you are using sum if, right? You are sending Excel on an errand. You can say, Excel, go to primary 4, okay? If under the first row, if you see daily, collect the book that is beside the table that daily is sitting on. So that's what we normally do. We are telling daily that, we are telling Excel, we are sending Excel on errand. Go to class 4, okay? On the first row, you tell Excel, on the first row, you see daily, whatever is beside daily or whatever is putting on, collect everything. So we are sending Excel assignment. So let's go and look at what we are doing. Let's come here again. We discover that when we are sending Excel code, most times it may be another worksheet. And that worksheet, you are going to indicate it by putting a quotation. Just one quotation will be beside the name of that cell. So you can see that this cell now is class work. There's a space here. So because there's a space here, Excel will not give you an answer. There must be space. So you must come here also and make sure that there is space between class work. There must be space between class work. Otherwise, Excel will not get what you are asking him to go and do. So there must be space between the class work. So that is it. So there must be space. So if you are telling Excel that when Excel comes to this place, okay, then where are you telling Excel to look at? Say Excel, go and look at column A. So Excel will come here and look at column A, okay? And I say that in that column A, if you see A159, what is my A159? If I come to this place, this same worksheet, my A159 is bank charges. So I'm telling Excel that if you see bank charges, then go to the same classwork, go to column B and add everything that is in column B. So let's now do it. Let's do it. So let's come here. So this is our classwork, right? This is our classwork. Let's come down and create that thing. So let's assume that here, yeah. So we can also use pre-made names, Abby, or let's just use what I want to put here. So let's say we have let's do something. Let's say let's use those names. We have John. Okay, Control Enter. Then let's autofill it the way we normally have it. We can make it plenty. Fine. So that is that. So we have John. We have that repeatedly. So what we now do is that we now say here we now put these calls. Let's say here they have this value. So, and I also told you that if you want to put value in a place very quick, you can highlight everything and put the value and then start pressing. So let's quickly put values. 1, 2, 3, 4. I press tab. Oh, I put a letter somewhere, so this will not work. This will not work. So, but let me take this one off first. This will not work because I have letter there. Okay, fine. So let me now continue from here. I want to get to this place. So I want to show us once and for all what we are telling Excel to do. Using the sum. I want to teach us the sum if before we now combine the sum if and the if function. So I continue again. Tab. Tab. Oh, I made a mistake again. Oh, well, I will correct it. Oh, I cannot. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so I think I'm done. So now, but I think there's a place where I have letter which is not supposed to be. So let me change that place. Okay, fine. So now I have all these figures. So let's assume these are the names, right? The names again, the names of staff, and here are the gross salary. So maybe those gross salary, different months, we have them listed here. So we now come to tell Excel. We take Excel, say Excel, we want to use the formula now. So what would I do? Let me come here. Let me delete all these ones. Okay. Let me delete all these ones. So let's use, sorry, let me delete all these things. Okay, so I now come here. Let me delete this one also. Now, sorry, yeah. I want to have the name. So I want to have names. I want to have names here. Names, right? And here I want to have their gross salary. Okay, I want to have their gross salary. And I don't want to go and start doing that primary school thing I did the other time. I started salary. I don't want to go and do the primary school thing that I did the other time. That I started going to copy and I started going to transpose. I don't want to do it. So I can quickly use the sum if. The sum if is the best. Whenever you want to sum something, okay, and those things are duplicates, you want to sum it, you can use the sum if and it's going to give you the answer perfectly. So let's repeat the name here. We have John because we have John. Okay, so John, we have John. So this is our John. We now want to autofill to have all the name. I think they are up to 5. Okay, no, I don't want to repeat anyone. I don't want to repeat anyone. So what I want to do is that I want to say, okay, here in this worksheet, I have names and I have gross line for different months. Okay, Then I want to add all of them, all the salaries, all the gross salary. I want to add them once and for all, and I want it to appear. So I want to have all the gross salary that John received from January to December. I want to see it. All the gross salary that Peter received from January to December. I want to see it. So what will I do? I can go and use a sum function. I'll just come here. I'll say equal to sum. I want to show us sum if. Okay. I say sum if. I want to send Excel on error. Okay. Then I will now open my bracket. Any function, you have to open your bracket. Then what is the first thing you want to do? Where am I going to? I want to go and pick details from classwork. And this classwork is a name. So whenever you are using a name, it has to be like a text. So you put an open column. Sorry, open, I think, what do I call this one now? Quotation mark, open quotation mark. Then you now put classwork. Classwork. So when you're done with your classwork, I'm done with the name. I put another quotation mark to close it. Then I put an hyphen. Okay. Then where do I want Excel to go to under classwork? I want Excel to go to, is it column A? I think it's column A, Abby. So column A. Then column A. Then I want to put $sign A also. Okay, so that it will not shift away from A anywhere. Anywhere I copy this formula to, it's going to remain on column A. Fine, I've done that. Then the next thing is, I now put a comma. So I've told Excel, I say, it's just like saying, when you go to junior secondary school, okay, enter comma 4. I've told Excel where Excel to enter. So what is Excel looking for? The thing that Excel is going to go and look for is what I want to tell Excel now. So when you go to this classwork, what do I want Excel to go and look for? I want Excel to go and look for, where is my content on this my worksheet? My content, the names on my worksheet is on B64. Abi, then I say okay, comma, and I'll say go to B64. If you see B64, so this is B164. Sorry, 164, because it is my tour. This is my workbook tour. That I want you to, when you see B164, comma, then what do I want you to go and add? I want you to go and add the same other worksheet. I want you to go and add in that classwork. Okay, I put another close quotation mark. I put an hyphen. So it means that whenever you are using a text or the name of a workbook, you are going to start it with open quotation mark, not the double one. At the end of the open quotation mark, you're also going to have an hyphen. Okay, so, or is it what they also call no, it's not apostrophe. Is it apostrophe?
Exclamation.
Exclamation mark. No, me and Pella, we didn't go to school. So, so you put exclamation. Once you put exclamation, then what do I want Excel to do? I've already told Excel, I say, Excel, go to the classwork sheets. Okay, when you go there, go and check column A. In that column A, then check whether you see John. Okay, this my B164 is this John. This B164 is not in. I'm not telling Excel to go and look. I'm not asking Excel. I'm referring to what I have on this my top B164. I put my comma. Then I ask, okay, in this same classwork, okay, add what you have in column B. And I say add what you have in column B. So column B, $sign B. Once I'm done with that, I close the bracket and I press enter. Automatically, look at what is happening. So Excel now is going to this worksheet. Okay, when Excel gets to this worksheet, okay, Excel comes to column A, because that's what I told Excel. I said, Excel, go to column A on this worksheet. Then when you go to column A, now come and check here, inside here. You see these names that you have here. Once start looking for all these names that you have here, once start looking for the names in that column A. Once you see the names, then go and add what you have in column B. So what Excel will now come here, Excel will come and check here. If it says here, it says John, say, okay, this is John. Okay, Excel will say, okay, this is John. This is another John. This is another John. This is another John. Okay. Excel now, what will Excel do? I create Excel, add everything that relates to John. So this relates to John. This one relates to John also. Right? So we can do something like this. I want to select all the Johns. John. John. If you want to select like this, hold your control key and select. Control key. Hold the control key and select. So these are the Johns. These are the Johns. Oh, I've left the control. So that's how you. So Excel will not do that, and Excel will go and sort and get the answer. So what do I need to do? Do I need to start doing for each of them? No. I have nested the formula, and the formula is going to shift and give me the answer I need. So Excel now is going to go and add all these things together. So let me put a comma so that we can see what we have here. So I put a comma here. So when I put a comma, so this is what we have. So for Taiwo earned 45 million for the total of that month. For the total of that year, John earned 570,000, Peter earned 958, and Dele earned this amount. So instead of me to go and start doing this primary scrutiny that I did here, let me show us. There's a place I did primary scrutiny. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to start doing this primary scrutiny I did here that I started transposing. So that's why you need to have different way of solving your thing. So I had to transpose to get all these things yesterday. It was very, very difficult. But if I wanted to use the other formula, which I later use here, sorry, not here, which I later use here, okay, to go and add all my administrative expenses together, to go and add all my cost of sales together, at one click, once I'm able to get the first formula for the first column, I'll just, for the first row, sorry, once I'm able to get the formula for the first row, I will just apply it all across. So if I'm looking for bank charges, for instance, mute your mic. I'm looking for bank charges. I'm looking for mute your mic. Mute your mic. This person is there's somebody that his mic is on. I say mute your mic, and the person is still there. Okay, so if I want to get all those things I mentioned, I want to get bank charges, I want to get all the different things. I will just do the formula once and for all. And once I do the formula, I will just apply it. And once and for all, Excel is going to go and do that instruction that I sent it. So we've seen the sum if. The sum if, you are telling Excel to go and look at the place. Once you see that place, if you see this thing in that place, then do this thing. That's what you're telling Excel. Okay? It's different from the if function. The sum if function, what you want Excel to do, you want Excel to sum. That's what you want Excel to sum. But you are telling Excel, if you go to a place, you see something, then do something. So that's what I'm telling Excel to do. So we now nested this sum if and the if function together. And that's what we choose in this our formula that I did here. Not here. Yeah. So that's what I did here. So it's what we're also going to do. We are going to continue on it tomorrow. We build on it tomorrow so that we now look at how to get a bank statement, analyze the bank statement. When we've analyzed the bank statement, then from that bank statement, we can now start let's see which person. Daniel Mubara. They are disturbing the class. So tomorrow we are going to continue and build on this knowledge that we have today. Tomorrow we are going to look at a bank statement. We see how to create trial balance from a bank statement. Okay, we get a bank statement. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bank statement that is in a PDF format. When we have a bank statement that is in a PDF format, we are going to go to ilovepdf.com, convert that bank statement from that PDF format, convert it to Excel. When we have gotten it in Excel, then we'll now start our work. So from that bank statement, we want to be able to now analyze. We are going to have a place where we have our narration. Okay, we are going to have a place where we also have our formula, where we are going to, after narrating all the bank statement that we have on that, the bank charges we have on that bank statement, we're going to analyze all the sales. We're going to analyze all the expenses, whether it is what's it called, salaries and wages, whether it is pension, whether it is this. We are going to analyze everything. When we analyze everything, we now go to another sheet we are going to have our trial balance. So that trial balance, we are going to now have a trial balance is the list of balances on all the accounts. So you are going to have a trial balance that will show all those things, and we are going to see how people normally create all those things in real life. So it's not difficult if you follow it step by step. So today, what I taught you, I've been able to teach you how to link a a sheet. You are linking a sheet. You want a sheet. You want a sheet now to. You are using a sheet, another sheet in your formula. Okay, you are not only working on your sheet that you are currently. You are also linking another sheet to it. Okay, so I've taught you that. I've told you that when you have those names of those teams, those names they are text. So you must start them with what? With you must start them with and quote a quotation mark. So look at this one. Payee computation. We are starting with a word quotation mark. And what else do we not put? We not put whenever you want to quote another worksheet, you must also put this your factorial. This is your factorial sign, or somebody say is a exclamation mark. You must always put that your in mathematics when we are in school they taught us that it's factorial sign, okay, but some people say it is also exclamation mark. So you must put it before you now select where you want exactly go and check. Okay. So with this, I believe we have come to the end of this class. It was not so smooth because I needed to teach us some things I believe we should have known. So in my mind, I just feel that most of this I'm teaching these people, they already know it. Maybe I'm wasting their time. Okay. In my mind, I'm just thinking maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe they already know how to transpose. They already know how to do this. So in my mind, I'm just saying, hope I'm not wasting time. Hope the class was interactive. Everybody, hope you gain. Can we unmute our mic? Do we have any question?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so no question, I guess. If you have a question, raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Henry, let's go.
It was a mistake. I wanted to give a love emoji. Thank you.
Actually, the some
Okay, I'm listening. Who wants to say something? Somebody said some if. I'm listening.
yes, that's the way you get that some if you applied it. I didn't get it very well. I'm with
Okay.
my laptop here. I'm
Okay.
trying to do it, but I'll still go back again and check it. I
Okay.
still go back again and check it.
Okay. So that is fine. Maybe we have that on record that we need more clarity on the summit. So, Madam Bola, I said so. Bola raising her hand. You want
Yes.
to add? Okay, go on.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Apologies, please. I know you've spoken about the absolute referencing before. What is the key you use for that absolute referencing again, please?
Okay. For that absolute reference is F4.
Four. Okay.
F4. However,
Okay.
however, if you don't want to press that F4, you can simply put a dollar sign. You know dollar now. You know how to
Yeah.
get dollar sign. So if you
Sure.
come to so you can still put dollar sign in front of the either is alphabet you want to make absolute reference. Just put dollar sign in front of it. If it's number you want to make absolute reference, put dollar sign in front of number. It's as easy as that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. I want to believe that the sum if function.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, and also you make a reference to on the first day when someone make mention of the F4 not working, that they can use a key function N FN that is very close to the window and the control button on their keyboard.
Yes.
So when they press that function key with the F4, it's going to
yes.
work because I've tried it myself and it was working.
Okay. Thank you for that, Madam Miriam. So she's just trying to tell you that in case you have been trying the F4 key and it's not working, it can be because your system, you need to press the second function key. The second function is going to be seen beside the Windows key. Okay, this my system is really hot. I think I need to put on my fan. The system is hot. I don't know. So let's not go and crash. All right. So I think with that we've done well for ourselves. Can we call it today?
Thank
Too
you
much,
so
sir.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. The
Thank
class
you,
is
sir.
recorded.
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We're
Yeah, you're
grateful.
welcome.
I
Hello,
hope the video. Hello.
I can hear
Please,
you.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, when
Please
is
send
the
the
video
video,
going to be
sir.
available on YouTube, sir?
It should be